Today's Monday, January 4th. That is a typo, 2021. And we are on to Unit 3, which is called Interactions and Disruptions. And this is where we're going to learn about the age of exploration. But to get started, we are going to start with a vocabulary opener. Our lesson objectives today are I can define and use key vocabulary words in Unit 3, and I can connect Unit 3 vocabulary terms to enduring issues. So our first term is conquer, and that's to take over through force. So you could think of Hernan Cortez or Francisco Pizarro taking over the Aztec or the Inca. Our next word is finance, which is to pay for something. So that would be like a country like Spain financing Pizarro's trip to the Americas to see what's there, because in return they would probably make some sort of money, but they were the ones, actually paying the bills, fronting the cost. Population would be the number of people. Voyage is a long journey, so we can see like some trade routes here, people leaving the United Kingdom and traveling to South America and to different parts of the world. Exploration is the act of traveling in or through an unfamiliar area to learn more about it. More modern day exploration, and I'm saying this like more of like the last 80 years would be like exploring space, but time periods that we are studying is like discovering the Americas and discovering new trade routes. That would be their exploration. Interconnected, this is a word that we have been talking about quite a bit since the beginning of the school year, but it's defined as the state of regions and societies being connected or in contact with one another. Remember, the Maya, Aztec, and Inca were not interconnected with one another, and they were not connected with Africa, Asia, and Europe until Europeans arrived to the Americas in the late 1400s and early 1500s. Moving on, we have social hierarchy, which we've talked about in 6th and 7th grade, which is the way in which a society is organized through grouping people, usually based on wealth, religion, ethnicity, or other factors. A turning point is an event that leads to lasting change. So very recently, we had a election where we have selected a new president. So that would be a turning point in our history. But turning points in the history that we've recently studied would be Cortez and Pizarro arriving in North and South America and, decimating the Aztec and the Inca populations. Ambassador is a representative of one country and another, where here we have Benjamin Franklin depicted, who was the ambassador to France back during this time period. Expedition is a journey undertaken by people for a particular purpose. I wanted to use the example of Huayna Capac, who was the Inca king, and we learned that the Incas went on military expeditions to gain more territory. Sponsor is to pay for a project or activity. Finance and sponsor are, I'm going to say, relatively similar. I always think of like a sponsored post on social media that, someone is trying to get us to buy something from someone else. And someone's being paid, someone's being sponsored to advertise this product. That's what we need to know. Transoceanic is across an ocean. So, you could cross the Atlantic Ocean, you can cross the Pacific Ocean, Indian Ocean, so on and so forth. We're going to learn why Europeans started to make transoceanic trips in this unit. Decimate means to kill, destroy, or remove a large percentage or part of. Here we see like some sort of Army Air Force strike. But also we could think of the fact that smallpox decimated the Aztec and the Inca, or disease decimated the Aztec and the Inca. Depopulate is to reduce the number of people, plants, and animals in an area. Again, decimate and depopulate sort of go hand in hand. This is an image of smallpox. Smallpox is what depopulated the people in North America, the Aztec, and the people in South America, the Inca. Indigenous is originating or occurring naturally in a particular place. It is native. So, we've looked at this to sort of understand the arrival of Spanish people to the Americas and hurting the indigenous population. So the Maya, Aztec, and Inca were all indigenous people who were original to the North and South American continents. So like last unit, we have a list of vocabulary terms that have been color coded. You have been assigned a color, and these are the three to four words that you're going to focus on today. If you're green, blue, or orange, it's clear. If you're red, the fourth word is your choice, so you can pick anything from the list above. And like last time, you will write the definition in your own words, which is going to be in a pod on Jupyter, and then you'll also connect it to an enduring issue and explain like how this word connects to the enduring issue. Be as creative as you want. So with that being said, we are going to get started. We are now all on step number 4, where we're answering question 1A in the pod. You have about 30 seconds to get there.